Sorry, my legs are cold. My lips are chapped too. So, my glasses are dirty. Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having an awesome day, week, or weekend. But if you're not, have faith because things always get better, I promise. Today I'm going to be telling you guys my favorite spreads to do in my bullet journal. I've been bullet journaling for like 3 or 4 years, so I kind of know what I like and kind of what I don't like. So I'm just going to be sharing it with you guys. This is just my personal preference and what I've learned over the years. I have all of my bullet journals here with me. I'm not going to be including my first bullet journal because that was my first year of bullet journaling, so I didn't really know what I liked. So none of the spreads I'm going to be talking about today are in that bullet journal, which goes to show that you learn these things over time. So to get started, my all-time favorite spread is the classic box spread. I love this one because it's very spacious and it's very organized and it's very clean, and it gives the perfect amount for when you're busy but not too busy. It gives you a lot of space, and I just love how it looks so clean. And these are the kinds of spreads that I want to be headed towards for my new bullet journal. I've said that a couple of times, but this is my all-time favorite. I do this one all the time. As you can see, I have so many examples of the times that I've done this spread. Could change it up with different washi tapes and different colors, and as you can see, you can also add the little month and the calendar in any corner that you want. You can even do it in the middle if you want to. But the dimensions are, I leave 2 spaces down below, and then I leave 6 spaces up here, and then I leave 4 spaces in between, so 2 on each side. And then on this side I leave 2 spaces, but on this side I leave 1 space. If I can go back, I would leave it 1 space so it's more symmetric, and then you could add the little month right there. And then my second to-go spread is this one. I split it into 4 boxes, and this is for very busy weeks. So I usually like to do my hourly planning, so like from whenever I wake up, 10 a.m., 9 a.m. to like nighttime, I'd like to write it out by hour, and this gives a lot of space, and it's still very simple and minimalistic. It looks so clean and loose and like freeing. The dimensions are, I leave 0 spaces. I leave no spaces around the border of the page, and then I leave 2 spaces in between, so 1 on each page. It gives a lot of space, but there's still a lot going on, so it doesn't look too empty. And then the third one I'm going to be talking about is one that I do when I don't really know what's going to be happening throughout the week. Usually I do like these set spreads, the first 2, when I kind of have a feel of how busy I'm going to be or if I have a lot of stuff to do that week. But for this spread, I do this spread when I don't really know what to do. It's kind of like that random go with the flow spread. This spread is like very specific in how I want it to look, or else it'll just look too complicated. I'll look at it with a very cluttered brain. Let me find it. So it's something like this. This one is a lot more doodly, a little bit more stuff going on, but I don't really mind it because everything is very compact and close together. So in my brain, it looks very organized still, at least for me. So I'm okay looking at this compared to like this, where it's kind of like the same thing where you just do randomly and there's not a structure to this weekly spread style. I don't want to say I hate it because somebody said don't say you hate your spread, so I'm not gonna say it. This one is not my favorite because I look at it and it just looks so not okay to my eyes. This one, I planned this one before in the beginning of the week, so I'll write all of the days of the week on like Sunday or something, but for this one I will go with the flow. So on Monday, was that Monday? No, so on Tuesday, I'll just have that and this whole thing will be empty, and then Wednesday comes, I'll do this, and then all this will be empty, and then as the days go on, I could fill in whatever spaces I think look empty. I had this much to do, but I have so much space left for Wednesday, and I don't like how that looks. It just looks too clumpy and not balanced, but this one looks more balanced because it's all tight together and it's all clumped together. So every day that I write in it, I'll just use the amount of space that I need, and there's not a bunch of excess real estate on my page that just makes the whole thing look unbalanced and unappetizing. That's actually how I'm doing my spread this week. I have this little box right here, so today's Monday, so I just fill it out, and then tomorrow I can just fill out this much. And sometimes it goes into the next week, like this one last week I only had 1 Thursday, and I just had a bunch of space because I didn't have anything to do. I didn't need to track anything down, so I just continued this week on this page. And then the 4th one is for really busy weeks when I don't want to do anything and I just want to write the weekday and then just have like a giant space of hourly planning and everything. So that one looks like this. Just ignore this middle part because obviously if you're busy you're not going to be doing that, but just imagine like splitting everything into 6 sections and then the last section just being the weekday. Like when you start filling it in, it looks nice and it looks organized. So that's what I like about it. Obviously I didn't have a lot going on this week, so it looks pretty empty. And that was before I knew how I liked using these types of spreads. And then the next one is for weeks that I'm not as busy, and this is more just for like the aesthetic of bullet journaling and the look of it, because they're good for those weeks that aren't busy. That's why I'm including it. But they look like these. See, look how pretty and look how nice that looks. See, I didn't have a lot going, actually maybe I did. But sometimes I do still do this spread on busier weeks. If I have a lot to write down, it just fills up everything and then it just looks so nice and like I actually use this spread to its full potential. So this is another one of my favorites. And then I have another one that I don't use as often, but sometimes I still do use it. It's kind of the same thing as like not knowing what's going on in the week, but you just use one page only. I don't use this one often, but I really want to use it more often since I'm going for like a more minimalistic spread for this year. But it's just using one page and then splitting it into, how many boxes is this? 7 or 8. And you can add like your calendar, or you can do 8 and then add like a little important box. And imagine if everything was filled out throughout these weeks and how nice that would look if you're like pretty busy, because that's still that's a lot of space if you're just doing like little tiny bullet points of like your to-do list. So this is another one that I like a lot, and you can do a lot with it with like color schemes and just sticking to one color. Look how cohesive and like straight and organized that looks. I love that. I'm a big fan. So those were my top 6 favorite bullet journal weekly spreads that I like to do and that I've learned that I like to do. Obviously you don't need to follow this. I just wanted to share my favorites and what works for me depending on my schedule throughout the week, depending on how much I want to doodle or how much I don't want to doodle. But these are just some of my favorite spreads, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, turn your post notifications, and I will see you guys next time. Have a lovely day. Bye!